Hello, Cancer. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and this is going to be your July monthly overview. And this is a journal message that's timeless whenever you find it. I know it says it's for July, but people are on different timelines, so it's whenever you find it. If you were drawn to it, there's probably a reason why. So the way I do these readings is I do 3 rows. The first row is going to be what you're feeling and thinking throughout the month of July. The second row will be what at that subconscious level. So the first row is more a conscious level. The second row is a subconscious level, what you're kind of feeling and thinking in your soul, deeper subconscious, and then how your conscious and unconscious self meet to manifest into what you see in your real world for the overall message, which is kind of like a little bit of an outcome sort of type thing. And then I pull one final card at the very end that depicts your love life for the month of July. I only do that one card because there's many different wonderful love tarot readers out there, and I choose to not necessarily focus on that. That's why I'm called Soul Conscious. I'd rather focus on those the deeper meanings and messages and lessons that want to come through for your different signs. So what we have for you, we're going to go ahead and dive right in, and it looks like you're battling, most of you, or the cancers that I'm picking up on right now are battling with a karmic relationship in your life. This is, it's not necessarily, sometimes people think karmic relationships and think toxic relationships. Yes, they can be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Karmic relationships, and it doesn't have to be romantic either. Karmic relationships can be a parent-child, it can be a friendship, it can be a romantic partner, it can be a boss and an employee. It's anyone in your life at all under the blue moon that you end up getting in some type of relationship dynamic in that teaches you a lesson or has something of value that you need to learn. That is something that you tend to repeat in your life, that you need to, the universe brings these people into your life to teach you something that you have not learned yet, that the universe wants you to learn. And so you're dealing with something in that aspect right now throughout the month of July. You'll have to figure out what that is for you, Cancer, because it's going to be different for each and every single person. And I really see you with this Queen of Swords energy trying to gain that clarity, like really being, really being critical of what is going on in this dynamic, whatever the situation is for you, because like I said, that it's going to be so different for every Cancer out there. And so it looks like there definitely is some obsessive toxic behavior as part of this relationship in some form or fashion, because the devil is showing itself. So whether that person is their behaviors are feeling toxic to you, and triggering things within you, or whether there are things in you that are unhealed that are expressing yourself, that's being expressed from you in the relationship dynamic that is causing some issues. So like, for example, the types of ways that we can be toxic to others is similar to the way they can be toxic to us, in the fact that it could be, you could be codependent, you could be giving too much to a relationship, you could be giving not enough and holding back, you could be playing games, mind games within the relationship, instead of, speaking your truth in your heart and being your authentic self, because, you play games and there's so many reasons why we do that. And usually it comes from a place of pain. There's somewhere we have been hurt in our lives, whether, from anyone in our lives, where something's happened, where somebody maybe has judged us, where we felt rejected, where we felt abandoned, whatever it may, where somebody has busted down our self-esteem. And then when we haven't fixed that, when we haven't healed that within ourselves, we tend to bring that as part of our Ace of Cups, part of our cup that we share with others. And what, like I said, it could be any relationship. We bring that with us, that baggage with us into relationships. So you're looking at a situation in your life where there's this relationship dynamic, and not necessarily, like I said, romantic relationship dynamic, but there is a dynamic here of the fact that there is something either you're bringing or they're bringing into this relationship that is triggering something that you need to look at and learn. There's a lesson here that needs to be learned, that needs to be changed and healed within you. I'm really seeing something that they're either triggering within you that needs to be healed, or you're seeing a behavior that you no longer want to tolerate from others. And so I see you looking at and criticizing, almost like, I'm going to say this because it's coming through. People that don't follow through, and whether that's you that doesn't follow through, and falls short, or they fall short. So it's someone that has a lot of talk but no action. Their actions don't back up their words. So they say they have a lot of grandiose ideas, but they don't necessarily follow through on them. And that could be, roles could be reversed. It can be either or, but I was really picking that up. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if that resonated with you or not, but that's something that came through very strongly, that it could be that. It could be any kind of dynamic that could be, a lesson that you need to learn, but that's what I picked. That's what's coming through the strongest is people falling short, like I said, of not following through, of being, saying a lot but not doing a lot. And that disappoints you, or you're disappointed in yourself for being that way. And so you're trying to, you're being critical, trying to assess that situation. So for your soul, I have together, and this is 47, which added together is 11, 1, 1, which is or 2, the card, like the Gemini card, the card of the lovers, the card of choice, the card of, two pieces making a whole. Since this is, I'm going to use a healing light in your soul, since this is talking about lessons that need to be learned. And this is the healing deck. This is, meant to be more focused on healing energies. To see what we got with that together, what comes out. I mean, I'm guessing it's what I've already kind of said. But this will help give me a little more, maybe depth into kind of clarify it a little bit more. Because this is what, like I said, this is your soul self. This is what you're feeling and thinking at that subconscious level that may not have come to the surface yet. Okay, well, you get 4 cards because another one came out. So yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of what I said. So it's having some frustration, and I'm gonna say that based on what came through of what I said of people, having a lot of talk but not following that talk up with actions. You have the King of Cups in your soul self, which indicates, someone that has a lot of love but holds back and restrains from giving that love. They maybe sometimes they're they're not the best at showing their emotions or expressing their emotions, or taking actions. They have a lot of feelings, but they don't always act or show that. It can talk about emotional, not having a lot of emotional vulnerability, in a sense, kind of it, being using discretion on how and who you want to show your love to, which can talk to, especially with this devil energy, can talk to the game playing a little bit. And you do have cards of communication coming out here, around around long-term relationships, that there's communication disconnects. And 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 um and I see with you have the Two of Wands, that is in your center, that is surrounded by the Four of Wands and the Eight of Wands. And if you think about, it's interesting, because that's 248, which is really, really interesting, because if you got 4 times 2, it equals 8, and that's the way the cards came out. This multiplier, this force multiplier, where it's amplified communication, but it doesn't lead to stability. Which is that act, talking a good game, but not following it up with the actions, the actions. And this still can be, roles can be reversed, so you're going to have to apply it how it comes out for you, or what it, based on your situation, Cancer. But this is really fascinating. Really, if this does resonate with you, I would definitely love to hear from you, because this is really fascinating how this is coming out. So the way we're gonna go ahead and pull your cards for your physical reality, which is, like I said, this is how your conscious and subconscious thoughts, how they come, how we kind of manifest how they show up in the real world for us. So unexpected visitors, and so and this is 4 plus 1, it's 14, or sorry, 41, 4 plus 1, 5. And I felt like I really got, like, the way this person is peeking in the door, like someone might surprise you, and that might cause some conflict, because it might be, this person that you might be trying to analyze, what the lesson you're trying to learn. Like I said, whether it's to learn to not give to people, to give yourself self-love, and put yourself first, and not give to situations where people aren't following up their words with their actions, where they're holding back their love, and not, they may be expressing it through verbally, but they're not following through. Or this could, also could be you, where you're doing that with someone, and that's causing some issues. So you may have someone concerned, because you're in this Queen of Swords energy for the month of July, where you're analyzing and criticizing these dynamics, or either yourself or someone else. I'm really picking up, this is probably someone else, not necessarily you. I am going to say that I feel like it's more them and not you. What deck do I want to use? Okay. And so they may be picking up on your distance, or your coldness, that sternness that comes from the Queen of Swords. That Queen of Swords energy, they may be picking up on you being a little bit prickly in the month of July. And so they may want to peek in and give you a little small message, and show their face, and test. I feel like test the waters, kind of, that girl peeking around the corner. Hey, what's up, Cancer? What's going on? You're acting a little bit different than normal. What's the problem? What's going on? They're going to be testing those waters, is what I get. And funny enough, I get the 5 of Wands. Oh gosh, I love tarot so much. I didn't realize how much I love tarot until the more I do readings, and I just see, the stuff I'm channeling, and just the cards come out to back it up. It just amazing. Um so we have, the way these come out in your physical self. You have the Chariot with the 8 of coins and the 5 of Wands. And so that is like, wanting to take, so I get this being this is more this person moving towards you quickly, because they see, you standing up for yourself, like trying to distance yourself to learn the lesson that you're needing to learn. You're pulling back your energy, Cancer. And so that person's feeling you pulling back your energy from them, and because it's a karmic relationship, they don't like that. They don't like that you're pulling back. And so they're wanting to come in fast and test the waters, and which may cause some conflict, because they're wanting to want to make an effort, but it's going to be that short term, just doing enough. I really am picking up that energy of wanting to just do enough to keep you on the string, to keep you tied in that relationship. They don't want you to get away, is what I'm really, really picking up for you, Cancer, is that energy of somebody in your life that wants to keep dangling you on the hook. They just do just enough to keep you still interested and focused on them, to keep your energy engaged with them. And every time you pull back and you try to learn your lesson, and that's why it's called a karmic relationship and a karmic cycle, because they're very hard to break, because there's always that aspect that keeps us tied to it. That's what, the devil talks about. It's always got the two people, the ties that bind. It keeps us tied. Karmic relationships keep us tied to that person. They like to, they keep, that's what they're there for, to try and keep us, pulling us back into those old cycles, so that we get fed up enough, that we finally get fed up enough that we learn the lesson and we move on from it. And if you don't, then someone else will come in and replace that person with the same, it'll be the same dynamic until you learn the lesson. So that's something to be aware of, Cancer. So it looks like you're trying to look at that a little bit, but I do not see in the month of July that you're going to stand up for yourself and break this cycle. I just see you starting to become slowly aware that this is a cycle that seems to be ongoing for you. And I think you're starting to take a look at the toxicity, or, take a look at this, examine it, with the way the Queen of Swords is looking at, the Devil card there, kind of looking at the red flags, the things that are a problem, starting to really look at that, which is causing you to take pause, which is what's causing this person, whoever this is in your life, feeling like you're getting away from them, and they're going to want to pull you back in. Do just enough to pull you back in and keep you tied to them, keep you on that string, a puppet on a string, is what I'm really picking up for you, Cancer. So if this is resonating with you, I would love for you to hit that like button down below, and that shares your energy with me for future readings. Also, I'd love to hear any comments that you have, to share your story if you want to with me, or anyone else out there, or if you have anything you want to share, feel free to leave comments. So for the final card for the month of July for your love, I have the Page of Cups, which the Page of Cups is it's a little bit of a dreamer energy in a sense. It's like kind of a wishful thinking type energy, but it's not the full night, so it's not in that quite in that place of wanting to birth that thought or wish into reality yet. It's just it's the idea of something, or starting to have an idea of something, and maybe having and like I said, I really started to see, in the month of July, that you're starting to see the cycle, the pattern. You're starting to see the pattern. So I think, this Page of Cups represents you starting to see that pattern, even in maybe in your love life, starting to see people that don't show up for you, starting to see the people that don't show up for you, starting to see the people that do just enough to keep you dangling and keep you focused on them and giving your energy away to them, and getting very little back in return from them, where they just want to, you get maybe a lot of texts, but it's not followed up with doing anything physically, as far as going out and spending time together, or them being there for you when you really need them to be there for you, but they'll talk to you all day long by text, or they'll say, every day you might get a, hey, how are you? But then they don't, but that's it. It's that like surface level, they're not really there for you in a deeper sense, or when push comes to shove, they're not showing up for you in the way you need them to. And that's leading to a disappointment, that you're trying to learn to weed those folks out of your life. So that's the message I have for you. I would love for you to subscribe, if you want to subscribe to my channel. I do several, I do 3, right now I'm doing 3 weekly readings a week. And I've started doing these every month. So if you want to join me, that subscribe button's down there. You can hit it and join us here. I'd love to have you. And I thank you so much for tuning in and sharing your time with me this month. Thank you so very much. I wish you the very best. Joy, love, and light.